rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a the band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. Wasn't always just a single shade, a palette full of gray in reverie. And I can burn it brighter than the sun. I have a golden gun inside of me. Don't box me in, don't, or I'll leave. I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else. And if I fall behind, ignoring all the signs, if I lose the fight, I still rage against the night. Don't box I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. I send flames, call my name, I freeze, I burn, I blame. I love, I hate the same. It's on my face, I cannot hide from the mistake my parents made. I'm never moving on. Not made from love, a remnant of a selfish motive. Was I needed? Do I need it to go wrong? Polarized in hair and pain, pumping through my veins. Eyes in flames, call my name. I freeze, I burn, I blame. I love, I hate the safe I embrace inside of me. I only fuel the fire. But is it wrong for me to fight against the balance of my power? History in halves, one brain. I will break the chain. Oh no, tokori wa yobu. Moeru rame koru to boku no ai to kirai ni iru. Oh no, tokori wa yobu. Moeru rame koru to boku no yesterday. Feels like I fell 1,000 times. Nothing but doubt to flood my mind. 'Cause sometimes it's hard to remember why I ever started racing with my dreams. A restless December, feeling I was meant for more than I believed. I'll never surrender, rather try and fail and fall 1,000,000 times. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I know as close as I am now, I will struggle, I will shout. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way. There's no stopping, there's no doubt. I'm on my way. I swear I meant to do this. I'm told that love would never lie. Where my head has met my heart and they are beautifully aligned. But sometimes it's hard to remember everything I've done that's brought me to this space. I started with embers, now a raging fire is burning in its place. I'll never surrender, rather try and fail and fall 1,000,000 times. I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
A avid fan of The Next Generation, watched every single episode when it was on, because that was like my jam.
Yeah.
That came on when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
But didn't get into the later shows, The Voyager and a little bit of Deep Space Nine.
Tuvok just wants to go home.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Tuvok just wants to go home.
Whereas, like, yeah, Star Wars is now only initiating with those whole television series and all that stuff.
I know.
But
I know.
they
But
make
like
another
the
acolyte.
Star Trek
Small
movies
dude.
you've seen, right?
Oh yeah.
Which one?
Um,
What do you think? So 2 was clearly the best, right? I think there's no question there.
Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. 1, I fell asleep.
Right.
2 was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
3, is that one where Spock died?
He dies at the end of 2. 3 is the search for
right,
Spock.
okay. Search for Spock, right?
Resurrect him.
And then 4 is the whales.
Correct.
So the time traveling space whales.
Yes.
And then I can't even remember what 5 was.
5 was horrible. It was. So there's this ongoing story, like theory that Star Trek theory that the even number movies are good, the odd ones are bad. But I would contend the original one, Star Trek 1. Yes, it was slow and it was boring, but it was very groundbreaking for the time. And if you watch it in that context, it actually was not that bad.
Sure.
And I thought 3 was pretty good too. Not it wasn't good. I won't say it was good.
Right.
It was not awful. But 5 was a disaster. 5 was horrible.
The I prefer Picard over Kirk anyway. So
I do too. But I would say
Shatner's kind of an asshole. If you've ever met him, he's an asshole.
Oh, Shatner?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's a horrible person. Yeah.
Yeah, he's total
horrible person. Yeah.
I have met him, and he is like an asshole.
horrible man. Horrible man.
Just
yeah. By the way, we're live, so if Bill Shatner, if you're watching right now,
Oh, hey
it's
Bill,
Green
go fuck
Pants
yourself.
too.
You were super rude to me in the line at the con. Okay, $50 for for a photo with you. What the fuck off, Kirk.
Yeah, seriously, right?
Anyway, hi everybody.
Did you see the roast of? Hello, everybody. Did you see the roast of William Shatner? They did the
No.
He rode in on a horse for some reason, like down the aisle of the auditorium.
That sounds about right.
They did the roast. George Takei was one of the last ones to roast him, and sort of, he did his skit. Oh my, he did the list of all that. At the very end, he said, "So Bill, just to sum it up, this is all I have to say. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on." And the crowd went nuts because he literally came out.
And the thing is, and he's like 85 years old. Like Sulu is he's so great. He's been like a sidekick on Howard Stern for so long. It's like
It's great.
like that
He's
guy
great.
really interesting long eclectic career.
Totally. Oh my god.
Right, but we're here to help people.
We are. So let's
And
get help. And I got a late
the
start.
mailbag is full.
Yeah. I got a late start today because I had to eat dinner. I was starving. Whenever it gets cold, I get ravenous. Like,
You get hungry?
I get so
But
much
you do
hunger
need to
in the
feed
winter.
your body.
No, I know, but much more so in
or
the
else you
colder
die.
months than the warmer months. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's some kind of hibernation gene
it's-
kicking in or something, but I just have to.
It's your rapid metabolism trying to make it so your body doesn't freeze
That's probably
and
it.
you don't go into like
Probably.
thermal shock.
And I'm not big on body
Oh.
fat, so I need
Right.
probably just make it.
Yeah,
up with
not
food.
big on it at all. Like really hate it.
Ah.
Like
I mean,
very
my body's not
anti-body
big on it. I'm just
vanguard.
naturally thin, but yeah, well, I know. So, first question. Let's get to our 5 questions today. So the first one comes
All right.
from Chris from Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay,
right.
so basically my girlfriend of 4 months is a huge Trump supporter as well as her entire family. We are both young, 21, and so this was initially something I didn't really care about. However, she's constantly posting about Trump. Evidently, losing friends over her stances on issues that are considered basic human decency is okay with her. I've just begun to become extremely pissed off about it. But we've made promises to each other, and I feel terrible about breaking up over politics. What do I do? Dude, this is a tough...
Okay.
Did you sort the questions this week? Because this is a tough first one, because this is like a whole ball of wax.
Okay, Chris, thank you for reaching out.
Yes.
Okay. Of everything you said, I think the most important thing that you need to remember is that you are not breaking up with your girlfriend over politics. You are breaking up with your girlfriend because she and her entire family are human trash. Okay? Losing friends over the basic decency thing is kind of like MAGA's whole thing. Like that the cruelty of their policies is actually the point. So the good news is that you've only wasted 4 months of your life with this horseshit.
Wow.
But MAGA, I gotta tell you, MAGA is a bit tacky and sticky, and it gets onto your skin. So you're gonna want to shower a lot because you're gonna need to shower off all of that racist white nationalism, and just scrub your body real good before you immediately start ghosting this chick and her family.
Is your reaction so strong? Which it is strong, right? So
Yeah, she has it. If his girlfriend is posting about Trump, she should never be spoken to again by any decent person.
Okay, I understand. So is there, and I know your feelings on this,
Is that a hot take?
but that is a hot take. So is
there have got to be other girls in
is
North Carolina
there-
that are not deplorable bags of garbage in a human suit.
Yes, there are. We know several.
Yeah.
Is
See?
is there a so there's a lot of the conservative talking heads, right? They go on and they spew absurdities and they go on about blah 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 blah.
Various degrees, yes.
Did
Mostly it's all performance.
yeah. Are there any of those of the female variety that you actually would find attractive enough? Like, yeah, I'd sleep with her. Or
No.
is the philosophy such a turnoff that even her no matter how attractive she is, can make up for?
No, the
That's what I'm
fact-
getting at.
Yeah, just knowing, like even like someone like Christy Noem from South Dakota or whatever.
Yes.
People are like, oh, she's attractive. I'm like, no, she's garbage. Like like if it has to, like people are like, oh, Ann Coulter, like she's just a stick figure skeleton. She's like death.
Ann Coulter's not that
know?
attractive, actually. I don't find her attractive.
But the right would talk. They
I know,
talk
I
about
know.
how they're
And what's her name, too?
Megyn
Tommy-
Kelly and all these.
Tommy Lauren.
Yeah, Tommy Lauren,
Yeah.
who's so dumb.
I know.
It's like it makes you dumber
I
when you
f-
listen
I-
to
I
it,
actually-
and like
I almost feel bad for Tommy Lauren because I don't think she has any
she
idea.
I think it's a shtick. Like, I think she's not even
You
necessarily
don't think
as
she's that
dumb.
dumb? I think
It's
she
that
is.
the white idiots that watch Fox
Yeah.
News,
Yeah.
they want that stuff.
Yeah.
So Fox just hires idiots to say whatever that they want, and I mean, it's literally that's what they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anybody, okay, let me put it this way: when I pass, when I pass a yard sign, a
Yes.
house that has a yard sign
Yes.
with Trump on it,
Yes.
I make sure to apologize to every delivery driver on the street for the shame of that house. I do that every single day. I've
Yowza.
apologized to at least 36 Amazon drivers,
Okay.
every gardener, every landscaper, the mailman,
Wow.
and they're always like, "What?" I was just like, "Hey, I just want you to know, they're an absolute shame to the neighborhood. These
Yeah.
guys are bigoted white nationalists. We fucking hate them. So sorry
Yeah.
they have this on the lawn. We support you."
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, those of you
it
familiar
really pisses them off when you do it in front of them too.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, those of you familiar with the show are clearly aware of our general stances on politics and philosophy and economics and that sort of stuff. So this answer should come as no surprise, right? So,
This isn't really a philosophy. This isn't a. This is human decency.
Here's
We're not
the thing.
arguing over capital gains taxes.
well, that's what I was gonna say, right? It's like because I have many friends who are traditionally conservative, right? Which is like we
Right.
would have debates about government regulation, capital gain taxes in general,
0% of them
income,
should be voting for Trump.
what agreed what our involvement should be in overseas affairs, that kind of thing, right? But
Sure.
that is not what MAGA is today, or the Republican Party
No, it's the
represents
opposite.
today. It's been taken over by this MAGA group, right? So, and it's unfortunate because
Right.
there's a valid voice to be had by conservative voices, and we miss it in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? We miss those debates. Those are the debates we should be having. The debates we shouldn't be having is, hey, if an election's done and considered valid and you don't like the outcome, can we just change it? You know, that's not the debate we should be having. Or, you know, if you don't like somebody,
I
shoot
think
them.
it's-
Or FEMA's going to
think
come
it's-
take your land, so you should shoot FEMA. That was a new one. You hear that in the news? That was a good one.
I think what's important to separate is that none of these are debates. All debate there is
Right.
not even the
And that's a crime because
The,
they're both sidesing it, and it's not both sides. It's not a two-side thing.
right.
You don't-
And there's also no one is trying to come to a consensus because consensus is now bad. So I mean,
Weakness.
the whole thing is it's like here's an immigration bill that has everything you want.
Right.
Nope, I can't vote for it. I'll be thrown out of office.
Yeah.
It has everything you want. Yeah, but we're not allowed to let you guys pass a
Right.
thing that
Right.
we want.
No, absolutely.
And since it's all that, it's completely pointless. Like,
but-
even on the floor, so many things that happen on the floor are just people giving a speech to an empty room
Yes.
to create a Fox soundbite.
To get a bite on C-SPAN, yeah, on Fox, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, most of
So-
them on Fox or whatever. Like,
So
that's where all the
we've
Marjorie Taylor
drifted a
Greene
little. So
bullets.
Chris legitimately needs help. So Chris, we hate to say this to you, but you need to break up with her. It's
I'd
unfortunate.
love to say this to you. I am. No, this is. You are escaping.
I mean, if
You're
she's
you're
duped,
getting out.
if she's duped or ignorant about something, and if there's a way you can educate her and turn away from the cult, that would be fantastic. But if you can't, you need to leave her. Here's why. And people say this, right? Well, it shouldn't matter. Politics shouldn't matter. And
It's not politics.
you know, friends
it's
is friends.
humanity.
That's
That's like that's why
there's an
none of
argument to
this
be made
is
as politics. So, and the
there's
thing
no
is
argument to be
like,
made.
well, I'm not going to lose a friend just because our politics are different. And I would counter with this, right? So your politics, your politics tell me your oh shoot, I just let my mind. Your
politics tell me that you
politics.
believe rape is
Well, no,
okay.
no. Your politics tell me.
I mean-
Here's my chain of thinking, right? Your politics tell me your priorities, right? Your priorities tell me your morals, and your morals tell me your character, right?
Fair.
That's why politics matters. When people say it doesn't matter, I don't believe it's true for that reason. You know what I mean? So basically, if you maintain a relationship with that person of a character that is totally anti you, right? All you're doing is you've reduced your relationship to a superficial. Like, we're just not going to talk about this thing. It means you're just not going to acknowledge it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's still there. You know, it's Oh, and Salman's challenging my point here. He says, if you aren't religious, does that mean you're evil? No, I didn't say that. I said your
It's
politics.
also, if you're not,
I said your politics set your priorities, your
Politics.
priorities set your morals, and your morals set your character. Right? There are multiple sources that you can come from your.
right. So
Uh,
if your priority is earning money and
Right.
that's your number one
Right.
priority, then other things are like, yeah, as long as I earn money, that's cool.
Oh,
And
it's Salman.
you know, if that's there. But
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Well, that's the even people who are seem to be um genuinely authentic about it. Like from the perspective, like for example, like saying they're like, oh my god, I like abortion, it needs to be banned, like and I will vote for the party that bans abortion if they're one issue person, right? And I'm like, okay,
so they're
so
awful. Okay.
do you agree that, so then you bring up a point, okay, do you think that I don't know, that we should be rounding up 14 million immigrants, illegal or not, into concentration camps and detaining them indefinitely with no due process, right? And it's like, oh no, that's horrible, right? And it's like, okay, so you're telling me that the abortion thing is more important to you, so that's a priority, right? Than these potentially, some innocent people being detained, right? Like,
Right.
definitely, like the rights stripped away. So the fact that you feel that's more important than or people who say, well, I want lower taxes. I'm like, okay, that's fine, and you can argue for that, but is that more important to you than a gay person being able to get married or adopt a child, right? Well, no, I want that too.
Right.
No, but you're saying it's not as important as your taxes, right? And that's the problem, right?
Taxes to me are like number 16
Right.
on the list. It's like it's like no, like
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about the human beings and the policies about it.
Right.
So like for all of those, like the Trump people are like, we don't care. Cruelty is the point. So to me, it's because I 30 years ago, sure, people would have arguments over supply side economics and stuff, and neither
Right.
side was coming at it from like an evil place.
Exactly.
But
Let's
now
have that conversation.
it's just straight up open racism and like violence. I mean,
Yes.
calling for violence. It isn't like we don't agree with our politics. So
Did
do
you hear
agree
this
that
dude in North Carolina was going to
insurrection?
shoot FEMA? You heard that, right? That was recently in the news.
Yeah, because they're telling
he
everybody
thought
that
FEMA was
he's-
going to come and mine his land for lithium.
because those are the things that they're spreading. The guy went and shot up the pizza parlor because he thought there was a child kidnapping ring that run by
Pizzagate.
Hillary Clinton in the basement of Cosmic Ping Pong,
Yes.
which didn't have a basement.
Didn't even have a basement.
Did not have a basement.
Anyway, so in Solomon, what's
But
I
a
going
guy
to say?
went in there and literally lit the place up with an AK-40.
No, I know,
with
I
an
know,
M16.
I know.
Whatever.
It's
Like,
insane. So in Solomon, just really quick to your point. So in Solomon has a couple points here. So the whole morals religious thing, we've discussed that in the program before. That's all bullshit, right? Because religion.
Well, yeah, I don't think religion and morality. I don't think they're
not
related.
interrelated, right? Religious
Religion
people.
is a made-up thing that's
Yes.
that's a fiction,
Re-
and
religi-
morality is a real thing.
Religious
It's a philosophy.
religious people think the only way to be moral is to be religious, but that is a falsity, right? It's you can be a moral person without being religious. So that's no, I know. I like devil's advocate. So no worries. I like when you play devil's advocate. It's good. Yeah, and of course there's extreme positions on the left that we also do not agree with, right? I don't think any of them go quite as far as some of the ones on the right, but that's just my personal take. But there is stuff that's definitely out there on the left.
Tell
that,
me
like,
the most left position. I mean, the most left positions are like legalize all drugs.
No, not
and
legal.
stuff like that.
What's one? Go full communism, right? Like everybody puts the money into a bucket and everybody gets an equal paycheck, no
No one
matter what
wants
work
that.
you do. There are
Who has
probably
ever
there's
advocated for that,
extreme
although-
left that probably might want
I
that.
guess, but I've never met them, and they certainly don't have a network.
Right. They don't have enough of a
Like-
voice. Right. They don't have.
I don't even know who would represent
There's
those
no
people.
there's no OON
The
equivalent of
American
the
Communist Party.
or Newsmax.
In America, if you want socialized medicine, you're a communist.
I know.
So
I know.
if you just want what Canada has,
I know.
you have already. So
It's not even that.
So
It's if you want the healthcare system that Republicans tried to pass 20 years before Obamacare passed. Because the left wanted full socialized medicine, government controlled everything.
Yeah.
And the right
Right,
came out and then the GOP came out and said no.
Obamacare.
Yeah, he's like no. Do it as a free market exchange. So basically, different companies can sell groups of policies to different kinds of classes of people, stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, we want this instead. And then Obama came and said, okay, let's do that. And everybody said, no, you're a socialist. It's like, it's your plan. It's like...
That's
Yeah. Anyway.
So the whole thing with that's why at this point, like, I think it's all just sort of like performance at this point
I know.
because it's so absurd now I'm fairly sure that the people who are from Harvard actually don't believe the things that they're saying. Like, they can't actually believe that there are Jewish space lasers.
Right.
But they're like, yeah, I'll go along with it
Or
because
there's
these yokels will believe it.
there's that high energy array in Alaska that's modifying the weather and creating hurricanes. Legit thing people believe.
Yep.
Anyway,
There's-
we're
yeah.
straight. I knew this was going to be a horrible first question because I knew we were going to go on this tangent. So thank you all for
Hey,
bearing with us.
I think I had a very terse and succinct answer.
And I
which
agree.
was-
And normally I'm the devil's. Normally
Girl
I'm
is
the,
trash.
Yeah,
Ghost her.
I'm not going
The
that
end.
far. I would just say you do need to break up with her because you have a fundamental incompatibility with your morals, right? And
Yes, she is
your
trash.
relationship cannot, no long-term relationship can survive in that case, right? So I'm sorry to say it, but
Due
it's
to
true.
her being shit. I'm not sorry to hear him say it.
He's not
because
sorry.
when someone is shit, you call it out and you say,
Okay.
"Hey, that's fucking terrible."
You definitely got more sympathy from me, but yes, the end result of both of our opinions is the same: is that you need to break up with her, unfortunately. So,
Right away,
Um,
immediately.
speaking of unfortunate, our next question comes from Jason from Carlsbad, New Mexico. Jason says,
Okay.
I'm unfortunately able. Oh, I think unable is what he means. I think I'm unfortunately
Okay.
unable to stare directly at someone while they talk to me and somehow manage not hear a single word. When someone will explain or just talk to me, I'm either subconsciously not listening or remembering anything, even if they repeat themselves a few times. People get annoyed because they already repeated themselves. I had to pretend I remembered, but I really didn't. What is wrong with me? Asked Jason. I know the answer to this,
Right.
but you go ahead.
Jason, over here. Okay, hi. 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. Okay, you have ADD. Jason, focus back. You have ADD. It's attention deficit disorder, and you need to be treated. Come on, come back. You need to be treated by a medical professional. So if you can put your listening ears on, Jason. You have
gosh.
ADD.
I think Jason's an introvert.
Perhaps.
I think he's just an
But
introvert and he's
I-
retreating into himself. He's not paying attention to what other people are saying. My theory. Or maybe a combination.
True, but the idea, but the concept of, because I think what he was probably saying was he's able, meaning someone can talk straight at him for 5 minutes and he has no recollection of anything that they said. And then and he probably says like, what? And they're like, I told you we're going to da da da. And he still doesn't remember. Like, so are you good? And he's like, sure. And he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I still didn't retain any of the knowledge.
Right.
And that's ADD.
Well, you don't remember, right.
You're not focused.
Yeah, yeah,
You literally never record the information.
because you're not
It didn't
engaged.
happen.
You're not engaged with the information because it has relevance to you, right? You don't care about it. You remember what you care about.
Or you're focused on something else at
yeah,
the time.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is why with someone with ADD, you have to be like, are you looking at me? Are you listening
Right.
to me? Yeah, especially if they're a kid.
Yeah.
But if they're an adult and they know they have ADD, it's like,
No,
okay.
I'll go with this, Jason. I think this is a legit case where you go to your doctor and just explain you have this problem, and you could get officially diagnosed. You know, don't pre-diagnose yourself, but go get checked out, and you very well may be diagnosable ADD. If so, there's medications available that can help you.
Yep. And it'll actually slow things down to the point where you'll be able to focus more and
Right.
actually kind of be more aware of the stuff
Yep.
Around you.
And as you know, I'm not a big fan of medications, but when they're appropriate, right? So
Methylphenidate. Start with 5 milligrams. You're gonna go to 10 milligrams.
Green
Ultimately
Pants
to
are
20
a resident
milligrams.
pharmacologist.
Right. Well, I have to make up for all of the non-pharmacology for Vanguard.
Right.
But his Jehovah's Witness, viewpoint when it comes to medicine.
Jehovah's Witness.
Wait. You don't believe in blood transfusions. We all know this.
I don't. It's true. No, I do believe in blood transfusions. Stop it. Just stop it.
You don't believe in body fat. You don't believe in blood transfusions.
Super J, big fan of Lexapro. Made a big difference in her life, which is great.
Absolutely. I got to say, yeah.
We're happy for you, Super J.
Cute. I have. Oh man, if I can do shout outs to drugs, Prozac, woohoo! Lexapro, Wellbutrin. Let's give it up for methylphenidate. Let's give it up for Adderall.
And in the best production
Xanax,
category, Xanax.
Yeah,
Adderall.
I mean, Ambien. Just there's lots
There
of
you go.
awards to be had.
Yeah. Yes.
Just
Well,
don't
we're
give it
happy
to
it
the
worked for you.
sacklers.
And Jason, it can work for you too. So get yourself diagnosed. Find out if that's the problem.
Yeah. And they can do it pretty quickly too. And if they give you a series of tests, and
Mhm.
it's it can become pretty clear that you have it, and then within a short while you might be able to get things changed. So
Yeah.
definitely,
So good luck, and we're pulling for you.
and just get prescriptions for as many things as you can.
No. That's not what we're saying.
Always have backup
You're not
in
saying.
case you need it, even if it's not something that you've been. I have so much lupus medication.
Isn't lupus like that? That's the thing. Like, there's no official diagnosis. It's if nothing else qualifies, yeah, you have lupus. It's like
Right.
it's
Dr.
an
House. That's why they always
anti-diagnosis.
said it on House. It was the.
Oh,
it's
was
not.
it?
It's never lupus.
Yeah, it's never lupus. It's lupus. It's not lupus.
Yes. I can treat you for rickets. Whatever you have, milk leg,
milk leg.
and all of that. I'm
Yes.
telling you.
All right, good luck, Chris. All right, next one is from this
right.
next one's from Clarice. Hello, Clarice. Clarice from Newburgh, New York. Clarice says, I was on a call to my boyfriend when a conversation about NATO came up. I'm a professor of Cold War history. I'm aware of what this term means. I should hope so. Anyone in high school should know what NATO means. Before he explained, I let him know that I already know what it is, and he doesn't need to explain to me how NATO works. He continues anyway. It later came up, and I told him he was mansplaining. He got extremely offended, started calling me a raging feminist. An argument has dragged out for ages, even after I tried to stop it multiple times. Is being called a mansplainer that bad of an insult? Asks Clarice.
Okay, Clarice, let me explain to you what mansplaining is. Okay, it's when someone explains something to you that you already know because they
He's
feel it's
doing
something
it right
that only a
now.
real man. But oh my god, I am doing it. Fuck! It's
Damn
hard.
you.
It's
Damn you,
so,
angry white guy.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So here's and I won't excuse the which is what he was doing. However, I'm gonna try to translate into this male terminology, right? He was probably excited that he had this knowledge and wanted to share it with you, right? And then you sort of deflated his bubble and said, I know 10 times more than what you're talking about right now. So carry on, little child, right? Anyway, right?
Right.
And he felt somewhat emasculated from that. You know what I mean? That's my read on the situation, how you're describing it. So that's probably why he reacted that way.
There's certain levels of mansplaining because mansplaining can go all the way from the obvious things where, someone is CEO of a company and some guy is trying to like tell her how the products work. It's like, I literally am an engineer, like fuck off, that kind of stuff. To, sometimes it's just when a guy explains something, but they're like, don't mansplain to me. And it's like, I wasn't trying to I was just explaining. And so sometimes there's that, like, there is a level there where the guy didn't mean to do it, but he was doing it, or he just is more, as you said, like it deflates the bubble, which, is really his issue, not hers.
Right.
So she's not a raging feminist because she is like, hey, I'm a professor of Cold War history.
Right. But I mean, it's okay to be respectful of, hey, I just learned about this. I'm excited about it. I want to talk to you about it. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
And then she just went,
Right.
So I guess a little sensitivity in that might have went a long way, but yeah, he was definitely.
Yeah, if he came up to her and was like, okay, you got to hear about this thing. It's called NATO.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm a Cold War history professor. And he was like, I know, whatever. NATO.
Right. Exactly. It started back on the Roman Empire. Let me tell you about that.
Right. Like that. Yeah.
But I didn't know
like,
what's.
Hey, I learned some stuff about NATO, and she could be like, I know what NATO is. Yeah, but I want to talk about it with you because I know you know it too.
Right. And that's what I wanted to get at. Like, how long have they been dating, and how does he not know if she's a professor of Cold War history? This would clearly fall in the wheelhouse. Because I mean, it's all NATO. It's like.
Wait. Yeah, because that literally is like. It would be one of the books of the Cold War.
If he knew anything about NATO, which he said he knew stuff about NATO because he was talking about it, he would then know. That hey, my girlfriend probably knows something about this. And if you don't know that, there's something else with your relationship going on.
I think there's just one of these things that if a woman is highly knowledgeable or a subject matter expert, but is in something that, for whatever reason, has been sort of locked into this gender concept role. It's like it's like sports and stuff. Like,
I see.
Whereas like my sister knows everything there is to know about sports,
and I
know
that much.
Nothing about sports. So I kick ass at fantasy football because my sister actually plays it. I have my name on it, and then I keep crushing everyone, and they're like, "But Green Pants doesn't know a thing about football,"
Yes.
and I don't.
Yes.
But my secret is my stamina, and I've told everybody. Right? Can you please edit that out? I'll give you a clean cut. One,
All right.
2, 3.
I will. Yeah. I
Okay.
will. Yeah. There's your fantasy football career. There it goes. But,
Hang
anyway.
She gives me all the trades, waivers, all the stuff.
Yeah. Tells you
Literally
what to
set
do.
my
I
whole
get it.
lineup. I have no idea who any of these guys are, what they do, what
I
they
get
play,
it.
what they look. I have no idea. I just do what she says, and then I get points. And then someone emails me and is like, "Ah, I can't believe I lost. That game was supposed to go the other way." And I go, "Yeah, it was. Totally.
Your guys will do better next
Yeah.
time in the sports
I
ball.
had a feeling."
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had a feeling
I
that
wonder if
guy-
some things about like history, things like that. I'm trying to think if there's like some things that like, well, this is a quote unquote man topic. You know what I mean? That of course I'm going to pretend I'm going to position myself as an authority about it, right? Is it? I don't know. Is NATO a man topic? I don't know. I don't think so. Is it?
Oh, absolutely no. No, it's a treaty organization, so by definition. But
Right. No, but it reflects like the
but,
time, and I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, I don't.
I don't know.
I have a heart. I know that sentiment is still out there because my own
Yeah.
kids will come with that, and they will say like that's a girl thing, and I'll say, where did you hear that's a girl thing? Like
Right.
like I'm curious. Like what? It's like, oh, I don't play on the swing sets. Well, girls swing on the swings.
Yeah, girls swing swing.
Wait, girl, that's yeah.
That's who.
Since-
Swings
since
are
when?
fun.
Is-
You can
swings
also
are
have fun on swings.
Universal.
Yeah, you
Right.
could also have fun on
But
swings, right? Yeah.
These little things get like kind of put in there, and
Oh.
yeah, I think
Yeah. So I don't
The-
think so. To Clarice's problem though, I think like labeling him a mansplainer was maybe a more incendiary approach than was necessary, right? Like more
Right.
if you went like, I teach this for a living, like, and I'm kind of an authority in it, so it's kind of weird that you're like explaining in the details that I kind of know, and da da da. Don't you think that's odd? And then put the question back on
yeah,
him.
because,
You know what I mean? And then
Right.
let him say, "Oh, you
because,
know what?
yes, if
You're
she
totally
is
right."
an expert,
Right.
yeah, because you would think this would be something he would not approach her about, but again,
Right.
the details could be, and this could be just one of those things where someone also just explained to him what mansplaining is, and it's going to be like, your lady's going to tell you you're mansplaining it, so he just immediately got his,
His
like,
defenses
what?
up.
I didn't do that. You know?
Rage man.
Like we do.
Poundchester. Yeah, like as men do. That's what I wonder if
We just need more. We just want people to listen to our opinions
Yeah,
and
like-
occasionally hear us.
That's right. Like if
And,
you're
and sometimes we want to have our opinions heard. That's all we're saying. And we never have a voice. I never have a voice. No one ever hears me.
all right, white guy,
Yeah,
straight
So
white guy.
lonely.
So hard to be us.
it really is hard.
What was I gonna say? I wonder. There might be something deeper, and Salman kind of gets at this too. There might be something deeper here in that, like, you're clearly an educated woman, right? And you probably have your doctorate if you're teaching, if you're a college
Oh
professor.
yeah,
So he may feel intimidated by you, right, and emasculated already just by dating you, right? If you're smarter than him, so him coming out and say, "Hey, I know something," and she's like, and you go like, "No, you don't," and then he goes, "No, I don't." It's like,
yeah. This
that may be part of it under the hood. I don't
There's
know.
something weird about this. Yeah, in this particular example, I think is a little bit fraught because some of the ends are both kind of extreme. But, golf is something that generally is a man thing.
Agreed.
Because although women do play golf,
They don't watch golf.
do they? I mean, I don't know.
Women may play
I
golf, but they don't watch golf.
None of these. The only thing manly that I know a lot about is chainsaws. That is the one thing I do know quite a bit about
thing.
chainsaws.
Very manly thing.
I've had many chainsaws, but other than that, other sorts of man things like the footballs and the basket balls.
Balls. Also
Hoops.
balls.
Hoops. Yeah.
Also balls.
balls, but they go in a hoop. Right.
Those-
Yeah.
yes.
No idea.
Dribble, dribble,
Like,
shoot, hoop.
Is 12 people on a team? I don't know. No idea.
Miss. Yeah. Anyway,
So-
so Clarice, I would go to him and just say, hey, maybe I shouldn't use that label, but it just seemed weird that you were explaining this to me when I'm kind of an authority in this area. Don't you think that was odd? And then kind of put it back on him and kind of figure out what his motivation was behind the whole thing, right? Like, didn't you know this is what I teach? And so Yeah, I'd love to have a conversation with you about it, and I have a lot to share
Yeah, because
actually, and let's talk about
because
it.
it escalated to raging feminist, which sounds like it started somewhere else, and she
Well,
said,
that's
"Hey,
why
you're
that's
mansplaining
why I
it
think
to
there's
da da
some
da 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 da." Raging
background.
feminist.
There's background simmering from this. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
think my guess is that he feels intimidated by her because she has a doctorate.
right.
You know, that's kind of my guess. And if that's
I
really
guess
the
the other
kind
part
of
is
guy
like,
he is, Clarice, then eject.
but I guess in answer to your question, like maybe don't drop the mansplain accusation so quickly. If
Sure.
and make sure that that intention is there. I don't know. Like I like
Yeah, I would understand the intention first because
uh,
just throwing that word back at a guy like you said is gonna make him react, right? And it's like
right,
whether he meant to do that or not, you know. And if he
right,
did, fine. And if that's what you determine your conclusion, then fine, call him out on it, right?
right.
Say, dude, what do you think
There's
you're
going to
doing
be
here?
that sense of doubling down too, being like, well, I really just need,
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
as we know, people once they say something can't change their minds
Right.
because
Locked in forever.
that's
Can't be
yep,
wrong.
locked in forever, and you got to
Can't be
even
wrong.
if all the facts are against you, you know what? You said it once, therefore you have to
Gotta
believe it for
be.
the rest of your fucking life.
Lock it in. Saddam Hussein got weapons of mass destruction.
Absolutely,
Going to the grave with
lock
that
in. Yeah.
one.
Didn't have them, doesn't matter.
Another
Could've.
example. Anyway, all right. So Clarice, good luck. So
Right.
that's our recommendation for the approach. So let's go to the next question.
Sure.
Oh, and Solomon raised a point that I think I briefly glossed over is that the about the Roman Empire. I think we talked about this before, right? That men think about the Roman Empire like every 5 minutes or so. I don't know,
Well,
some
that,
quick
that
period of time.
that was a statistic that was like
Yeah,
like most men think of the Roman Empire at least 3 times a day,
right.
or something. It was just something that was like,
And once
what?
I heard that, I
And I was
actually
like,
I
I mean, of
do.
course that's right.
I know.
Sure, I do too. I just never thought
But
everyone else did.
Mrs. Vanguard was mind boggled about it. She's like, why? And I'm like, because it influences so much of our existence.
right. Mrs. Greenpants for the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like what? Because it's like, you know,
Because it
have I
forms
seen
so
more than 30
like,
documentaries on
their
the Roman Empire?
calendar. Like
Maybe.
our calendar is based on the Roman Empire. It's
Right.
like the whole situation in Israel is the Roman Empire's fault, actually, because it started back then.
I think
So
we're being
it's
a little
like-
bit defensive about the Roman Empire thing. I don't,
maybe.
you know, but if we
Oh,
can go
funny.
back to, would you rather be with a bear or a strange man
Or
in a
strange
room?
man in a room.
That internet discussion.
All right, let's move on. There's so yeah, Super J, Taylor Swift's her Roman Empire, so that's pretty sweet.
Fair enough.
Little summer love there.
At this point, she has. I think.
I'm a Tay Tay fan.
I believe
have to admit.
her net worth is greater than the whole
Roman
net
Empire,
worth of
yeah.
the entire Roman Empire,
Of the
or
time.
something. It's something
Not
like that.
adjusted for inflation, of course, but
Not
it's-
adjusted for inflation. It's like half.
Wow. Yeah. All right. Our next one comes from Amanda from Chicago. Amanda says, "Can I park my car in front of a house on a neighborhood street? The family who owns the house asked me twice already not to park in front of their house. I mentioned to the family politely that I thought anybody could park on the street since they do not own the street. I'm not sure what to do since that's my favorite parking spot. They also mentioned this space came with the house and they could tell everyone not to park there. I apologized and moved on, but I'm upset because I think I'm right. What do you think?" I think it depends
I
on the
think-
street. If it's a neighborhood,
I-
like a suburban neighborhood,
Yeah, there's
that's
a really critical detail missing,
it
which
is.
is that if they own the house, they very well could also own the spot in
Yes.
front of the house.
But it depends on the house. Like I said, if it's like houses in the
Right.
suburbs, that curb in front of your house is your curb, pretty much, right? If it's like a
Right.
street where it's just like blocks in a city where it's public street, that's not your spot. That's not your curb. That's not your spot. That's not your space, right?
But the city organized that's why like they don't, no one has exclusive rights to the road other than like the city, but that's why they'll have
Correct.
like residents only parking and they'll tell you otherwise. So
Well, she's also a
this
resident, though.
specific but in terms of there are definitely like there are places in Boston that if you would like the parking spot in front, it costs you an extra 6 figures
Yes.
for the spot.
Yes.
It is literally a spot. So, like buying a parking spot for over $100,000 on the road is a
Yes.
thing in America
Yes.
because that's how things fucking work here. Okay,
Yay, capitalism.
USA,
Yay.
USA.
Cheeseburger. Ag, ag, ag.
Enough money, all problem solved. Like yeah.
Buns. Pew, pew, pew,
So-
pew, pew.
Amanda, he might own the spot, which then kind of like they do have a right to
Right.
not have you park in it.
But again, if it's a suburb, I think they might own the spot. If it's like a
Yeah.
city block, like a city street, nobody own. There's no
Yeah.
spots unless the case Green Patch is
Bottom
talking
line,
about.
this information does not provide us enough information to tell
not.
whether or not you are in the right.
It
You
does
might be
not.
right, you might be wrong, but we need
It-
more detail,
it-
and I think the city should weigh in.
Yeah, you should.
the,
Yeah, and in Silent
the
suggests the
authorities.
same. Just call the city and double check. Right.
Right.
But then you got to
like-
determine like, oh, then am I the dick if I said, well, I call the city, so fuck you. You know what I mean? It's like, don't want to be that person. Especially your neighbor.
Well, I mean, if Amanda wants to have her car keyed, sure. I mean,
Right. Then we're
like,
talking about an escalation battle here. It's like
right, which can be costly. Let me tell you.
very
Not
worth the stress.
because when
It's
someone
part of the
escalates, you've always got to escalate again, and it's hard to stop that. And sometimes you got to take out a second mortgage just to have the money to put together the material you need. But you do what you have to do. So
There you go.
I'd say, Amanda, it's kind of up to you, but if you want to get into
Amanda.
a war over this,
Yeah.
your prerogative. Start with the city.
I would set your mind at ease by checking with the city, right? But even if they come back and say, no, it's not their spot, you can park there if you want, I still wouldn't. Because if it matters that much to them, there are bigger battles to fight, right? That's not the one. That's my recommendation, Amanda. So good luck about the parking spot. Very exciting topics. All right, last one.
All right.
Anthony from Chattahoochee, Florida.
Chattahoochee must be.
Chattahoochee. Yeah, I've never been. I'm sure you have.
I have absolutely been.
As older,
It has hoochie in the name. I've obviously been there.
clearly, as older dudes, already offended.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Anthony. As older dudes, what is some advice you would give to your 20-year-old self, especially when you are a young college student who might be lost on what to do for their life? What are things to do, avoid at this age? Asks Anthony.
shit,
What would
so
we tell
many
our 20
things.
years? I know.
Okay.
Like,
Do
date
not
more.
repeatedly drink your entire body volume in hard liquor.
Correct.
Or soft liquor. That thing that you do where you're able to like throw your body in the air and fall on the ground, because it's like a pratfall and people laugh and it's really funny. You're gonna have terrible arthritis in your neck and arms. So stop doing that. One day, weed is gonna be fucking legal in this state.
Right.
Okay? So you're not gonna have to meet Derek at the Walgreens parking lot and know the password. Okay?
Yeah,
So
but
look
that's,
forward
that
to
doesn't
that.
help.
It's gonna be wild.
Look forward to it.
And it
yeah,
won't
but
happen until you have kids, unfortunately.
It doesn't.
Sorry.
Right. It doesn't help 20-year-old you. You know what I mean? This is kind of like, how would you help 20-year-old you? But-
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Well, it's more of I'm letting 20-year-old me know
that there's
that
hope.
weed would be that was something that my 20-year-old self would love to do.
That's fair. That's fair.
personally.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, this is what so mid 90s. We're talking
Dating ourselves. Here.
within a couple decades, immutable truth is not going to exist anymore. And all humans will live in their own echo chambers. So that's something fun. The internet, that's like kind of
Yes.
just barely a thing now.
Yes.
It's going to get a whole lot better and a whole
a lot worse. Yeah, it's going to be the greatest gift and
so-
greatest curse to humanity that ever existed.
Yeah. And then I know this seems like it's hard to believe, but remember the original Bush president? His fucking son is going to get elected and be made president by the Supreme Court.
on a technicality.
And he's gonna commit like crazy war crimes,
Yes.
and no one's ever gonna give a shit about it. Like it's all just gonna go away. It's actually, and someone worse is gonna come along. I'm telling you. So just don't get all worked up about it. It's
All right, what
I
I
want to
would
get worked up, but I'm saying don't.
right. What I would tell my 20-year-old self is that I would say, go to the party, be with friends, have the experiences, do it all. Like seriously, I did too much time sitting around and not doing more. I did a
Much
fair
time in your own
amount.
head or
whole-
just of introversion type of things. I mean,
yeah. Like get out there and do things, try new things. Just throw yourself out there, man.
Right.
It's like it's an amazing time. Amazing time.
I think you did a lot of things in terms of from
did.
your vast career on the stage
Did
and
a fair
screen.
it's true. I did a fair number of things, yes, which was great.
I-
I wish I did more.
the-
Yeah, I honestly wish I did more. Not quite the level of regrets, but if I was giving advice to myself, that's
I did
what
the
would do.
exact right amount of things because
Did
I
you?
think
You did. You lived a full life.
because to keep I did
life
as
lived.
much as I could within the blood alcohol level that I needed to maintain.
Green pants. Yes.
and depending on how high I was at any particular time.
Yes.
But it was a careful balance. But I would the thing that is important, throwing yourself to the ground, just being like, stop,
Don't do that.
just fucking stop it right now, because
Take care of your body for sure.
that's a dumb idea.
Actually, I
Everyone
would
back
say
then told you it was stupid, and you didn't believe them, or maybe you believed them and you just didn't care.
yeah.
Well, now I care, asshole.
I would
So-
I would say too that, but I did this, so I'm not really. I can't really. I don't know if it's advice because I think 20-year-old me was doing this anyways. That like the body that you care for and develop and work on in your 20s is the one you're going to keep for a good chunk of your life, at least in some form. You know what I mean? Like if you're out of shape in your 20s, you're probably going to be out of shape in your 40s and your 50s. It can change.
no.
It's not blanket.
You
It
know,
can
yeah,
change,
not
but I'm saying
necessarily.
trends. Trends is what I'm saying. Typical, right?
Oh,
Form the
also,
habits. Form the habits in your 20s, and you will stay healthy for a long time.
In your 20s, one of your really good friends might refer to your backpack as a gay bag and call it that everywhere that you go. And then after learn that that's probably not in the greatest taste. And
I know. It was okay to say that. What can I say? Actually, it probably wasn't.
It's a different time, man.
It probably wasn't okay to say that, and I said it anyway.
No,
I'm like, what's with the
Right.
gay bag?
exactly.
I would give him grief all the time.
Like, so
Your JanSport
Same, but
backpack,
things
you
will get
walk around. I'm like, what is this?
really,
Yeah.
even now,
Yeah.
I proudly.
I
had
now-
even
I
you
carry-
remember that backpack
I-
more than I do.
I
Jansport?
carry-
I would not have been able to pull out Jansport from my fuck.
I remember it. I carry a man bag with me today. So I have flipped the script on that one. I have one of the sling bags I carry around. It's like my Merce. I keep critical items in there. And I carry it around when I go out. I know. It's not hypocritical when it's me now versus me then. No, don't you hang up on me, I swear to God. You better come back here. I swear to God. I saw that.
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh shoot! And Salman's got to go on. Mental health is important, and physical health take care of your whole self, which is a very good point. That's a good point because, like, when you're 20, you kind of think you're invincible, right? It's like you think, like, oh, you know, but physically and mentally, I'm fine, you know, but really be fine, you know, and make yourself fine. Surround yourself with people.
Can you see me? Am I back?
You're fine. Yeah, you're totally
Am I-
fine. It was like a quick
Okay.
blip, but you're back.
It was just a quick blip. Okay.
Quick blip. when I clearly offended you about the backpack thing.
Yes. Yes.
But
Talk
yeah,
about that later.
live your authentic best self. Be honest with people. Be honest with yourself. Carry yourself mentally, physically. For me personally, I would have, and I don't know how you give this advice and have it stick, but I would have told myself to have more confidence in myself, and you know, basically date more, have more relationships. I was too much of a serial monogamous back then. You know, 2-3 year relationship. Like I wish I dated more and got to know more people. In that way,
I wouldn't change a thing.
you did okay. You did just
Would not
fine.
change a thing.
You
I
did
just, no, I'm just. I don't think I.
fine.
It was the right balance of things.
I think it
but
was-
still. Seriously, stop falling on the fucking ground. That's stupid.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
All right, buddy. I think it's speed round.
I think so too. It's time. Yeah. So Anthony, good luck with
And
that.
it's me. Is it me? Oh
wait,
yeah, it's
is
me.
it?
This, yeah, it's me this week.
I don't think
I
so.
believe so.
I don't think so. I don't think
I
so.
asked-
Let me check the
mm.
document. Oh, it's you. Yay. All right, we're doing speed round. Speed round is
All right.
5 rapid fire
All right.
questions that I'm going to throw at Green Pants right now, and he's going to have 60 seconds to answer them. And we will start the timer as
I
soon
will
as
try
I
to
finish
stay
reading.
within the appropriate time.
Yeah, you're bad with that. So
Depends
we
on
gotta,
how-
I'm gonna hold you accountable.
It
this time.
depends
I'm
on
gonna
what questions you give me.
I'm gonna hit the buzzer. I don't know if you hear my buzzer. I'm gonna hit the buzzer when you hit the.
I am
Five-
going to
five
ignore your
questions.
buzzer
All right, that's fine.
and finish my point. I was told there'd be no fact checking.
I was told my lies were not gonna be called out on air.
We agreed to not do that, right?
We agreed to not call out my lies, right? Okay, here we go. So, Green Pants, are you ready?
Yes.
All right,
I'm ready.
here we go. All right. If you were to be banned from your local library, what would be the reason? Oh,
Oh, again? If it happened again, it would be because I moved all of the religious texts into the fiction section where they belong, and they get so pissed.
If you could have dinner with any 4 people from history, who would they be?
Ooh, I would get opposing cult leaders like Joseph Smith, Mary Baker
That's
Eddy,
not a bad idea.
Jim Jones,
And,
L. Ron Hubbard, and have them all argue
Hubbard?
over their own bullshit.
I was gonna say
like,
Manson.
wooden submarines, which aliens are in which volcanoes. Yeah, it would be a
That's not a bad idea, actually. That's not a bad idea. What do you think the first person to milk a cow is actually trying to do?
Show the cow a good time.
These are great.
Westerners have always been close to their animals.
Excellent.
Perhaps too close.
All right. If you could train your falcon to steal only one dessert, which one would you choose? 8 seconds.
Well, common falconer wisdom says a cannoli, because they don't grip it too tightly. Yes, I would say cannoli.
Time is up. I'm still going to give you the last question, even though you've
Okay.
sped through your time.
Come on, some of these were complicated.
What 2 things that were okay when you were a kid but are absolutely not okay today? Oh, there you go.
Oh God. Oh my God. So many things. Okay.
Gay bag.
Understanding that tricking a girl into having non-consensual sex while she is drunk is not okay and is actually rape. And although the 1980s
okay.
said that was the only way to do it. Wearing a
Do not recall
wearing
that.
a Did you not watch Animal House? Did you not watch
I see
any
what
of the
you're
80s
saying.
movies in which every nerd, their only thing
Yeah. She had to be
basically get a
drunk.
girl
She had to be drunk.
Revenge
That's
of the
actually
Nerd. Yeah, that was the whole
point taken.
that was the whole thing.
What's your second thing?
Wearing a bicycle helmet will no longer result in a brutal ass kicking
I see.
like it would in 1985.
That's fair.
I would say, yeah, bicycle helmets now weren't okay. Smoking lounges,
Not okay.
yeah, but we had them.
Yeah, we had one at our high school. We had a smoking lounge.
We had one too.
Weird.
Which always I found confusing, but it was just
The kids were going to go outside. I
and
think
it was
that
like,
the idea was the kids were going outside and smoke anyway, so at least having a controlled environment. That was the
Right.
mindset.
and then the kids that smoked weed just went like off to the side of like the smoking lounge. It was just like, well, see, we don't look here. We're like right?
So you really think for the
Um,
cow thing, you really think they were trying to get a cow off?
No, honestly, I think they were hungry. Probably it was like, you know what? Can I drink this?
Oh, I can't.
Cows, the calf
bad.
seemed to like it.
Right.
You know.
That's true.
And then
That's true.
after a
Although it
lot of diarrhea, you know,
rampant diarrhea.
evolution occurred and we became, you know,
What we are today. That's right.
yeah, and now
There's a lot of
cowpox turned
questions.
into smallpox.
Right. There's a lot of questions about that. Like, who's the first one to eat, an apple? Or you look at it, you're like, okay, all right.
Right.
And how many trials, how many errors before the trial? You know what I mean? Like, how many times?
Who's
Try
the
it.
first one that opened up
dead.
an oyster and was like, yes, I want
Look!
this.
Oh,
you
look!
know?
Og died because he ate the, the poison.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And Thag would be sad if Og
And
died.
Thag would be
So,
sad if Og
know,
died.
no one would help him with his fire rocks.
Yes. Which is incompatible with River Rock. Yes. And what was your dessert? A cannoli? So you could see a falcon stealing a
okay.
cannoli. That's cool.
Okay, so like a cannoli, like, okay, I don't know if you know how much you know about falconry, but if you're training a falcon to get a dessert,
Yes.
you want it to be able to grab something with its talons,
talons,
that it can
without
quickly
crushing
pick
it.
up, but
Yes.
without crushing it. And
Yes.
so a good cannoli is really soft in the middle, but has a good
Agreed.
outer shell.
Glazed
like
donut
from,
would be a poor choice.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be too mushy. So the talons would grab it and then come to you, and then you could obviously use it for some empty calories or
Yes.
whatever you wanted.
Yes.
But if it's specifically a dessert, falcons and cannolis are the best
I agree.
combination.
Key lime pie,
That's
horrible
just-
choice.
Oh my god, yeah. Jello, awful.
Horrible.
The talons
The
go
falcon
right
would
into
just-
it. Right up. It just it like literally could not be worse, really. Jello and blades don't
Yeah,
go
no,
well.
not good. Let's see. Milk the cow. Library. Oh yeah, you would move the religious text to the fiction text. No, I get you.
I do that anyway.
Yeah.
But yes, Bible always goes into
I
fiction.
used to. I will admit a little dirty part of my past here is that this was in the days before the internet was what it was today, and intimate material, reading material was not common
Oh, well.
back then. So if there was opportunities like books on anatomy or books on some sexy story with illustrations or something, I might, check out the
That's not a dirty secret.
pictures.
That's called being a kid.
I guess
I
that's
searched out it was so, I mean, waiting for ASCII boobs to download over a 400 baud
Oh,
modem.
for sure.
Like, or watching scrambled TV for that 1 second that
When
might
it
it might
locks in.
unscramble so
I
that
used to
your
do that all
brain
the time.
could get a glimpse of
Just
what.
that glimpse of, oh my god, it was a boob. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the whole thing.
I
We're just
mean,
animals.
yeah,
We're freaking animals.
Anything at the library. Our library, which I always found, had a copy of Penthouse Letters
Yes.
in
Yes.
book form,
Yes.
and it was
That's
the
what I
only
would
one.
go. Okay.
It was,
Yeah.
and I remember being like, "What is this?" And
Right.
and I read it 30 times,
Yeah.
I think. But it was also a terrible introduction to sex because
horrible.
all of those stories are completely made up.
Contrived.
So
Yeah.
it's like
And it was
you're just
for-
expecting. It's like, well, the pizza guy came in and I gave him
Right.
a look and we just
Exactly.
started fucking.
And
it's
I read them so many times I felt like a bond or a closeness with these people who were
Right.
telling these stories, which were completely made up.
Right.
So.
like literally just, like, dear Penthouse, I had a 5-way orgy.
Right.
I have a question. It's like, like
I was in a restaurant, made eye
what do
contact
you
with two
do
ladies, and
when
20
you're
minutes
so
later,
tired?
right. I was in a restaurant and saw two lovely ladies there, and 20 minutes later we were having a threesome. It's like, no, you
Right.
weren't.
All
All right, very good.
So yeah, I don't think that's but yeah,
We did
things
it.
to do that you were okay as a kid, like the list is really endless because it's
It really is. Racial
like,
things were more
it
okay,
was
gay
okay
things were
to
more okay.
not wear a seatbelt of any kind.
Right.
Like I didn't ever remember wearing a seatbelt in the back seat as a kid. I crawled
No.
around in the trunk. Of
I
the, of the back of
laid.
the station wagon.
We used to have old cars and with the bench sheets, and I used to lay on the bench sheet and do my what are those dumb puzzles with the invisible marker? Like it was like a yellow highlighter pen, but you could reveal the
Right.
puzzles, and so you know what I mean. So I would just lay on the back
still
seat and just
exists.
do those while
They have
driving.
those now with water. Same thing.
Yes or
Gets a
no,
little
or
wet,
it was called, or
makes me-
something like that. I think. Anyway,
I was reading Penthouse Letters, so I'm not sure.
in the back seat of the car.
In that back seat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So seatbelts for sure. Gay jokes.
Pretty much any safety related items, frowned upon back then, or just not
That's true.
existent.
Like helmets, absolutely.
Actual school fights. Like I can't like I was
Oh,
in
yeah.
several actual real
Oh yeah.
fist fights. Like
Oh, yeah.
many with consequences.
Oh, and then teachers
that not legal.
that would
and-
break them up
right.
would like pick the kids up and slam them against the wall to break up the fight.
Right.
Like teachers would get in on the fight. Like they
I
would break it
can't
up
even
violently.
conceive
Right.
of that happening.
Like teachers
now.
can't even
Like, in-
touch kids now. Like can't even touch them on the shoulder.
but
It's like
if the kids like call each other certain name, I mean it's pretty intense. Like
Yeah.
some of the stuff that like kids get in trouble for now, I'm like,
Mhm.
oh my like
yeah.
Like yeah, like I remember in my world history class, a girl called Mrs. Machowski, who was our world history teacher, a fucking bitch, and Mrs. Machowski slapped her across the face in class. Mrs. Machowski did not come back after that day.
And nobody
But
else
that
called
happened.
Mrs. Machowski that ever.
That happened, and it was one of the greatest moments of my life.
Oh my
'Cause-
god.
She was so annoying.
Oh my god.
But yeah, like when people were like, "Oh, meet me in the," like no one was gonna protect. Like I had to get home. Like wherever I was, it was like, okay, I'm at school, and these guys are like, "We're gonna kick your ass," and it's
Right.
like, okay,
My bullies would be waiting.
what do I do? Yeah, and
Right.
yeah, exactly. And now I have to like hit my route, or kick one of them in the nuts,
Right.
or do the headlock thing where you just grab them and you dump them down on the ground, pretty quick elbow, and then run while they all get pissed off. There's so many things. My son doesn't know any of these things.
Right.
And
know.
I think he's better for it, probably.
He's probably.
Like,
Oh, they do
I don't-
say
I-
that adversity builds character is one of the old
Yeah,
sayings.
I had like by the time I was 10, I had at least like 50 stitches, like
Yeah.
total, amongst like just between dog bites and BMX, like
Getting beat
nothing.
up. Yeah.
like. But we occasionally have a band-aid issue, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's just
Scraped knee, perhaps.
yeah. So I don't know if
Yeah,
that
the-
was actually good.
No, not so.
I got my foot caught in a gate, on a safety gate, on a not a safety gate, a gate that was like rolling by because we were just hanging on the gate as it moved.
Yep.
Because we were kids, and then it got to the end where the gears were, and my foot got caught in it and got all ground up.
Oh yeah.
And so then my friend had to like pull me out of it.
The
And in
ground
those
up foot.
days, I hurt and I got home and I got in trouble.
Right.
Like,
And then you got did you get the
It was-
Bactine though? The Bactine.
right. Well, I got in
And
trouble, and yes, and then
the
everything was
vaccine.
sprayed down. But the injury was certainly not. There was no sorrow being
Right.
felt for the.
No, you were punished as you should have been. Right. So, what other things? I was thinking like movies too, right? Like I was thinking like the movie Blazing Saddles that can never get made today, right?
True, but there are so many movies that are like things today that just
Couldn't have been made back
never
then.
flown back
Fair,
then.
fair,
So like,
Fair. So it's a mix.
But and Blazing Saddles was meant to be what it was. I mean,
Shock,
it wouldn't
right.
get made today because of just the way society is. But like
Right.
back then, they were saying just like Archie Bunker wouldn't really happen.
Oh
today in
yeah,
that.
it wouldn't happen today.
It's like, but
Agreed.
because Archie Bunker was supposed to be the guy we all liked. Like he was supposed to be the lovable dude. And like, oh, Archie. Like,
Crazy.
it's like he was an insufferable
I
prick.
was watching, and I got a quick anecdote here. I know we're short on time, but a quick anecdote. So the I was at my father's house, and him and my stepmother were watching TV. It was like getting late, and Barney Miller. Remember the show Barney Miller's detective show?
Oh, yeah.
It was like a police show, comedy, right? It was like it was set up like a play. It was like a one act, like a one scene, or maybe two scenes. It was like the main room and then Barney's office or something like that.
Yeah.
So and the whole gimmick is that they'd capture somebody who did something wacky and put them in the cell there, and then hilarity would ensue, right? Because they'd do
Right.
whatever weird thing. One of the guys got arrested. His wife came in and said, "My husband raped me, so I need you to go arrest
Right.
him." And they looked at
And it
each
was
other
an-
and said, "Your husband can't
That can't
rape
happen."
you."
Right. That's
And
not
it
a
was
thing.
legit,
Ha, ha,
like-
ha.
But then, to
Right.
their credit, like one of them asked, like, "Well, if she didn't want to do it, she didn't want to do it." You know what I mean? So they debate.
right.
But it was the fact that it was a debate, and the show was what,
Right.
maybe like late 70s, early 80s, I guess, is that kind
Yeah.
of thing.
No, late 70s.
Yeah. So it was mind blowing. I was watching it, and I went to my father. I'm like, "Are you seeing this?" He's like, "Yeah, whatever." And I'm like, "No, you don't understand the gravity of what we're seeing right now. Like, this was okay back then. You know, the people didn't
I
question."
watched when Caligula came out in 1978.
Oh wow,
My parents saw it in the theater.
nicely done.
And I don't know if that would be out today, but I did watch it with my dad as an adult.
Wow,
That was a mistake.
I would think so.
No one should make it.
Did you
So,
have
don't
an
watch
erection?
Caligula with
did
your
you
parents.
get an erection?
No. Caligula's disturbing. I don't
It
know. I
is.
guess
I know it
it
is.
depends. Yeah, it would maybe if I was like
Oh my god.
14 or something, but it was I watched it when I was like 38.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't quite the erotic experience. It was more of like, I cannot believe this actually got made, and they spent a whole bunch of money on it, and it was basically the Penthouse guy that like literally financed the whole fucking thing
There you go. That's right.
because he wanted to have like a glorious erotic, that's how
Master-
they
the
got like, Malcolm
masterpiece.
McDowell to be Caligula.
Exactly. And his agent get fired after that one. But anyway,
Well, I mean, well, he also was in Clockwork Orange, so that's
True.
been in some pretty intense films.
all right. I think we've done it, dude. I think
I think some folks have been helped.
that's it. Yeah.
It's a tiring job, but
It is.
it's what we do.
So hopefully everyone heeds our words of wisdom and uses it to, I hope, better their lives. You know, that's kind of like the goal here is to.
Yeah, ghost those Trump supporters.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So is it quick?
yeah.
Quick summary. You need to break up with that girl.
Mhm.
Go see your doctor because you probably have ADD.
Not D&D.
Not D&D. I know. I had D&D in mind.
Obviously.
What is it, the NATO thing? It's like just
Mansplaining.
right.
Be careful with the term.
Be careful with
but-
the term, but however,
Yeah.
right, exactly. If he's legit mansplaining, they'll let him get away
Right.
with it for sure, right? That's
Absolutely,
the
it is a
thing.
thing.
Yeah. Do you own your parking spot? Depends on where you live, and I think we went through all the advice you give your 20-year-old self, right? It's like that's the thing, right? It's like you always have the wisdom when you're older, and you wish younger you had it, but younger you wouldn't become older you unless you were younger you. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, unless younger you dies and never becomes older you, and then it never
Fair.
happens. So you don't really think about that.
The time loop and everything explodes, right?
Right. Sort of like when the older people at that time that weren't you told you that those were all terrible ideas because they knew that you didn't listen
Right.
to them either.
Right. And sometimes someone telling
So-
you not to do something makes you want to do it more.
Right. Right. I would not have carried around that bag if it wasn't you. I didn't even like. I literally brought it to one thing one time, and then I just decided to bring it for the rest of
It's
my
like, you know what?
entire.
Bag's a thing
college
now.
career.
Yeah, there
Yep,
it is.
it's a thing. It's a thing because
Yeah,
Vanguard
you had to make a
wants to
thing
make it a
about it. Yeah, I get you.
Yep.
I get you. But yeah, so that's all the time we have. So thank you everybody for coming by today. And remember, your questions are underneath Green Pants down there.
Yeah,
Right,
right
pointing underneath them. There's a link to submit your questions.
Please submit. It is
Wait.
our lifeblood.
Yeah.
It is how we have things to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we have a little bit of a backlog forming, but we answer the best ones. So those of you who need more, advice might not get the help.
I'd say that, but yeah,
we hope-
some of
we
them
hope you get to it.
need a little bit of grammar updating and stuff. But
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly.
keep,
Yeah.
keep them coming.
Young,
I have no problem.
Young
with this
people,
wording.
young people, punctuation, please. Learn
Yeah,
it, use it.
well, I know. Yeah,
But anyway,
you know, and R is ARE, not just the letter R.
R,
And
right?
like RU is.
It's only two more
it's-
letters. It's not too hard to type.
Not-
it's not a big deal.
Punctuation is a thing.
Yeah, Green Pants says our local editor does do a lot of updates to your questions to make them readable. So Green Pants, thank you for that work.
I do occasionally put in punctuation
Yes.
because most of them are all a single sentence.
I understand.
So
I understand. With no apostrophes or capitalization.
nothing.
Blah. It's just like, yes, I understand. All
Pretty
right, so yeah, keep saying those questions, and we'll be back here at 9:30 p.m. Eastern U.S. time on Tuesday. So we'll look forward to seeing you then.
Next week.
We'll catch you next time, and
We're
remember,
here to help,
we
guys.
are here to help. Good night, everybody. Good night.
night.
Everybody. We're gonna talk about Star
Don't
Trek
do
some
that-
more.
don't
Good
do that thing,
night.
don't do
Good
that